Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Sergio Dominguez with another audio commentary for season 34 of The Sergio Show. So, after season 33, which was like the quickest, cheapest season ever made, back in June when I finished production, I started and finished production in June of 2025. I decided to take a break in July just to focus on the movie and then get back to it sometime in August. So let me just check. So yeah, I decided, okay, let me start production in August. Maybe it might take me a little bit of time, but I could do this. I can do another season. At first, but when I was looking at the lineup of the 10 episodes I have, some of them are either too ambitious or I didn't really want to do it. So I actually had second thoughts at one point of doing season 34 of the show, actually early on. At first, maybe I could do it, but then not. But I was like, give me some time. So in the middle of August, I decided let me try one episode and let me do something. So the first episode in production is episode 335. This is the season where I just was really out of order. So for this episode that you're watching, the season premiere, where I do a 4K webcam review. Yeah, that was in the original lineup, because throughout the production I end up changing a lot of ideas and moving some things around and rescheduling it. So this season was a mess in both production and even just overall ideas for episodes. There was a point where I was just struggling to finish the season on just what episode I want to make, but we'll get to that soon. So for this one, yeah, I think early on, according to my records, I only want to do a 4K webcam review, because I've been watching a lot of webcam reviews at the time, these 4K AI webcams. I have a 4K webcam, and been watching those, because lately I've been making episodes of the show based on videos I watch, and I watch on YouTube are 4K webcam reviews, and also other things too, which we'll get to later on. So this was simple, do a cartoon webcam, try to do like all these other these webcam reviews would do. And this was made late in the month. Yeah, from the 25th of August to the 27th. So it took less than 3 days. Yeah, this was not bad. And this was the second episode of the season made. All right, but modest episode. A lot of these episodes are really modest. One episode I just was like, I'm done. I'm so done. And there was a point where I was done. Because it was not only the end of the year. Well, we're at the time the home stretch of the year, the last 4 months. But I was entering the busy part of the year of holidays and all these personal things going on. If you know the last 3-4 months of the year, So I was like, I just want to finish this season now, and just focus on the rest of my life, especially the movie. Wink. So let's see what we got here. The Alien Sergio episode. So let me see. What episode was this? This was the. Yeah, I made this. This was the. Yeah, this was the third episode made in the season. Let's see, 1, 2. Third episode made in the season. I was like, let me do an Alien Sergio episode, and I'm trying. Let me see where do I have it here? Yeah, originally, yeah. So originally it was gonna be me opening a box, like those box opening videos, but I'm changing it to a Sergio Alien episode, and I'm like, what can the character do? What can aliens do? They abduct. So I just like, let me just create a couple of gags, improvise, and let's go with this one. So third episode made, even though second episode released, but this one took long. This was supposed to be a quick episode because I like Alien Sergio, and the last one of Alien Sergio, it was fun and quick. But this one took 6 days. 6 days to make, give or take. And I was really worried because this was the third episode produced. This took long, and I was so worried of the rest of the season because it was only, 3 episodes out of 10 finished. and we were early September, and I was like, oh gosh, no, this episode shouldn't have taken that long. No, fun episode, but there was a lot of things going on where I had to go back and forth, and this was more like it took long because of personal things, not because of like being picky, nothing complicated. It was just more like life was getting in the way. But it is what it is. A 3-episode production schedule, a 3-day episode production. Really, an episode. 3 days took twice as long. I know that was a lot to say, but it was just this was a messy season in terms of production, because there were points where mostly, actually, what I'm looking at, the rest of the season was good, but it was so stressful, wondering if I can do this. And the movie, the second half of the 20 episodes. So maybe I was being over dramatic at the time, but I knew where I was. I was like, oh, this season, oh, I can't back out. But I was like, oh, I don't have all the ideas for episodes I want to do. I don't want to do this one. I want to do that. I don't know. I mean, this was going to be a box opening episode, but instead I'm going to have Sergio adopt some things because he's an alien. It lets him some fun ideas, cute little pieces of artwork here. So this is the only like difficult episode to make, but it really was just 6 days when it should have been 3. And because of it, I took a really long break from production, because I finished it on the 8th. And see what I got: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I took an 11-day break just to focus on other things in my life and the movie, then get back into production. By that point, I was late in the month, but we'll get to that soon. You know? Well, this was a decent episode that was unnecessarily too long to make. But it was nice to work with Alien Sergio. Special little Martian. Yeah, so after that, there was a 11-day break, and I was back into production. And what happened the rest of the season was not bad. Yeah, by that point, I was like, okay, 3 down, 7 more to go. Oh boy. All right. This one is actually the last episode. No, wait. What is this one? This one is... Oh, no, Dragon. No, not even Dragon. Woof. A little out to do commentary for this season. Excuse me, folks. So this is episode 333. Okay, yeah, here we go. Dinosaur Sergio from the Future 2. Okay, again, this was one of those episodes where I had something originally, but then I scrapped it, and then I had to think of an episode on the spot. Because originally this was going to be a Dragon Sergio episode, but at this point, I finally got the animation software Moho, but I didn't have time to learn from it, because that software would be great on getting the dragon animation of Dragon Sergio done, make it more look like a dragon, not that stiff thing when you first saw him, or second saw him if you count 300, episode 300. So I was like, let me push that back a little bit, maybe a couple seasons, and change it to a different kind of Sergio. At first it was not that, it was like something else, but I didn't have any other ideas, so I was like, one of those last second ideas of just Dinosaur Sergio from the Future 2. I liked how I made the first one, and I had a funny idea for the second one that was really goofy, really nuts. This was an episode late into production, as I can remember. Yep. This was late. This was like second to last. Yeah, this is the second. Wait. No, this is third to last. Third to last. I remember right after this, I did 2 more episodes and finished the season. So this was like, yeah, the third one released, but the third to last episode made. After that, 2 more, and that's it. So it was like, yeah. But this was fun to make because it was so goofy. I was just improvising and fun of like, okay, I want to bring back Dinosaur Sergio from the future. He was fun. Cough. So, what can we do? How about he meets a different version of himself from a different era? And then they try to figure it out and see what we can do. And I improvised, and it was so much fun improvising. Being ridiculous, going loose creatively, and having it not make sense, but somehow still make sense at the same time. And it was fun playing Dinosaur Sergio from the future, and Dinosaur Sergio, and this old-timey classic painter Sergio, and that was fun. I didn't have to. It was 3 characters, but I didn't have to worry about lip sync and on eye focus and stuff. So and that what made it more fun because of the production and doing things quickly. This year, I had to not focus on the lip sync that much. Let Toon Boom handle it like the early years. But this was more on just time restraints. Just like I can't focus on the right lip sync. And so good luck to everybody. But this was a fun, quick episode. This one was quick. I think this was 333. Yeah, less than 3 days. This was no problem. This was fun. This is one of the more fun ones, and this was like I'm down the home stretch. Come on, almost. Okay, so this was the 4th episode released, but the last one in production. This was the last episode made of the season, and that was one of those ideas where I was like, 9 out of the 10 episodes done. I have 1 episode left and I'm done with this season. Oh, what can I do? I don't know. I don't have any ideas to make a quick episode. I don't know. So I was trying to think. And I remembered, I don't have my dog here. Throughout the season, he appears here and there, but he doesn't have his own episode. So originally in the schedule, it was going to be a food review. But then I changed it to a chunky episode where he was going to get a flea bath. But I ended up scrapping that because I can't think of anything funny. So I ended up being another one of those chunky episodes of like, what's he doing while his master or his friend is just going on that season 33 adventure. And that's all I can think of. He's like gags. That's all. By that point, I was just done. Gosh, that's it. And the only thing that came from the flea bath episode that I didn't do was this gag you're seeing right now. Yeah, I have a flea come in and that's it. That's all I could think of. That's all I can think of. Just trying to squeeze out gags out of my noodle. And I was trying to just think of something, but this is all I had left. I was like, I'm done. Let's go. Let's pack it up. Going home. 4th episode released. Okay. Last one made. Woohoo. My gosh, this season. My gosh. Oh, but he's a sweet dog. Look at him being a dog. Yeah, he had some nice gags here and there. But yeah, that's why it was so short. I think I put this together in a couple hours. But the rest of the season was just a weird mess, production-wise. So that's what that episode was, just like, oh, let's go, bye. A food review. I don't know what food review I can do yet. Alright, this one, we're in the middle of the season. Okay. Now, this is the first episode in production. Originally, it was going to be how to record yourself, but that ended up being pushed to the following episode, which we'll get to soon. That was the original thing on the list, but I ended up doing this. At the time, in the beginning of this year, I tried to learn Blender, the animation software Blender. Free software, but it's known for being really difficult. And just a lot. And when I was learning it, it was so much. And at the time, I was also trying very hard to get the animation software Moho. I was like inspired to make this episode of my experience with the software. And I thought this was such a fun personal episode. I'm like, let me start the production off with this. But this will be the middle of the season. And that's how I was feeling the whole time with Blender. But I was like, nah, this is a parody of it. This is like my exaggerated parody of what I was trying to do. It ended up being a fun episode to make. This one was the first episode in the season, back in August. I only got to do 2 episodes in August. Just 2. And Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this one took 4 days. This one took 4 days. I mean, the character's in a different place, in a different angle, because I wanted to be in a different place because he's learning a software and computers and stuff, and I had to draw this different setup that's familiar but something else. And me poking fun of all the things about the animation software and how people learn and how all that stuff. It kind of just did flow out of my mind. I thought this is creatively fun. How frustrated I am with this software. I wanted to poke fun of it. Spoof it if you do may. With this one. Yep. Yeah, this is a long shot. Some of these I didn't want to break it down. But yeah, this one was a fun one. Doing some fun reaction drawings of me just like suffering. And it was just like, let's go, even though 4 days. And I ended up I was trying to learn how to make a puppet rig animation with Blender, like how I do with the show in Toon Boom. And my God, why is it complicated? I've seen so many different like tutorials of it. Well, I'm complaining about it here, of trying to make a keyframe puppet animation, how I do on Toon Boom, but with Blender. But it ended up being too complicated. I'm like, my gosh. And I checked the animation, like forums and stuff, and well, not forums, but yes, some communities and Blender and Moho. So during this production, also, I finally got the software Moho, and just seconds using it, I loved it. But again, I didn't have time to really look over it. So I end up not using Moho for this season. I want to in the future. At some point, because there are some tools that are really nice to really push the show forward. You know, because this version of Toon Boom is so old. It's 18 years old. It's like I can't export in 4K with this version of Toon Boom. I had to use AI software, Topaz Labs, to do 4K with this old software. And there you go. That's one of my first animations I did in Blender. A keyframe blue arm. I don't know if it came out like that, but my gosh, when I went to Moho and did a little animation test, that was more fully realized, and I did it so much quicker. That one, oh gosh, that took a couple of tries. Just to animate that, it took a couple of tries and rewatching the tutorials bit by bit. My gosh, I respect people who use the software Blender because my God. My God. But again, I have respect for the software. It is powerful, it is nice, it's just so much to learn. So much. So much. And my gosh. Why is it gotta be like that for puppet animation? 2D puppet animation. Why? Okay. But yeah, first episode in production, even though it's in 335. And yeah, it was gonna be how to record yourself, but we'll get to that soon. Okay, originally this episode was gonna be me getting shingles, but I pushed it to the season finale. And for that episode, it ended up being how to record yourself, which was going to be the previous episode, but I pushed it to there. And again, I found some fun ideas with this one. Yeah, really good one. Because people try to record themselves, of course we record ourselves all the time, but as a cartoon, how do you do it? What is the way? So I just thought of some fun gags. Just a couple of fun gags. So simple episode, but it is also one of those kinds of videos that's like for that I watch YouTube videos of how do you record yourself kind of thing. And just fun gags since we're in a cartoon and stuff. You know, drawing some things like a drone, call back to the season premiere. Excuse me. But with this episode, this was this one was episode 336, and that took a day to make, thankfully. This was at the point in production where I was like, okay, I'm picking up the pace, and all these episodes are being put together like bang. Which is great. Great to hear. For the most part. Yeah, moving the camera around was fun. Moving the camera around does give it a little bit more, but even then, you can see like a couple of times in this season the puppet breaking and clipping and all that. But it's like, I gotta get this done. It's so tough, and also the movie and stuff. But still, I'm glad this worked. And me just also adding these transition wipes and effects that I learned from that I got from the editing software that I added on the show, Magic's Movie Edit Pro. That was fun. Okay. Simple episodes, some nice gags and visuals, but there we go. Yeah, I'm just seeing how many pencil marks there are on the list, and how they went through some changes too. Went through a lot of changes. This is gonna be season 35 actually, but then I'm changing it to season 34. All right. Let's see what we got here, and it is 337. Alright, originally this was gonna be animation news. I just put out an idea, but I didn't have any ideas for animation news. So I was like, mall. I'm like, what can I do with a mall? And then I remembered when I went to this mall that I grew up in New Jersey one time, and I went back to New Jersey, and it was just a wreck. It was a dump, and I was like, no. Compared to like the malls I've been going to other places, I was like, this is sad. Also, at the time, I was watching YouTube videos of people going into broken malls, abandoned malls, and histories of malls just dying. So, it's become now a pop culture thing of just poking fun of dying malls and stuff. So I was like, yeah, we can do some gags with this, and I gotta just be super funny. And I made a lot of drawings with this one. I made a lot of drawings because I had to draw broken malls and all that stuff and doodle all this in marker, scanned in, and all that stuff. That's why it looks very run down. Reaction shots and all that craziness. And I did some fun improv with this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, even the malls here, it's unfortunate. I can't believe I'm poking fun of it, but again, this is also a fast episode to make. This was episode 337, and this one took a day, 2 days. It says 2 days, but it took a day without the thing slowing down, roughly. But it was a lot of drawings, and it was a lot of me trying to record in the moment. So it was a lot of me acting, like very frantic, and me just like improvising, and just I made a list of like the gags and to perform. But it is so unfortunate. It is unfortunate with the malls going on in this world. Oh, that one's funny because I was like, and then I end up just like trying to listen to what I just said and write it down. And there we go, mall. Yeah, just doodling all these like fountain and mall like things. Open. Even for a mall, it still doesn't have a lot of characters. But then again, in the theme park season, I didn't put that much. But it is what it is. This was at a point where I was just like, oh, I gotta busy time of the year. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Not the best attitude to have, but it was still a fun episode to make and fun episode to perform. Believe it or not. But yeah. Gosh, a lot of these episodes, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 10 episodes were scrapped. Were originally, but then I scrapped them. We'll get to the rest soon, but But mess of a, like I said, mess of a season production wise, even though the episodes came out just fine, most of them. You know, the struggle is real when you make a movie and a show at the same time. And so sorry about that, but let's see how this all goes. Here I am. All right, this is the only episode, one of the few, really the only one of the two episodes where I kept the idea, and that was the DVD review. Again, watching internet videos, I also watch people open brand new DVDs and home video packages, you know? So I have it on the list, and originally I wasn't going to do it. Originally I was going to scrap it too. But then I just was like, you know what, let me list not only gags, but, you know, what do you do when you open a DVD? And just thought some gags, and I was like, oh, you know, there's an episode in here. And this episode was very quick. I was surprised. Some funny things, some a different animation technique that I did, but that worked, was because most of the episode is that top-down thing. I don't have to focus on lip sync or anything, just arms moving around. I thought maybe it might take long because I have to draw different versions of this DVD, front, back, open, close, the case and the disc and all that. But no, it was quick. This was the, second to last. Was it second to last? Yep, this was second to last. This one took a couple of hours to make. A lot of stuff going on visually, a lot of drawings, a lot of jokes. I improvised it like crazy. When I recorded dialogue for this, I even got a DVD to like play off of. That the DVD sound is real of the case and all that stuff while recording. And since I didn't have to focus on the lip sync, I can just like have fun with it. So this was a fun episode, very quick, very fun. And it came out really well. You know, just like, oh, DVD. And yeah, this one took a couple hours to make. And this is a lengthy one too. You know, I was worried because this is only 3 shots in the software that I just edited together. Thought I might mess up the software, but it didn't. I was very surprised how quick this was. I had to draw a lot of props and things for the DVD menu. Even have to animate that, which was like a frame by frame kind of thing. But came out just fine. I was again very surprised. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Also, I didn't know what kind of DVD I wanted, but then I thought, okay, love cartoons. And I do know that there are those DVDs out there of like 100, 200, 1 million cartoons on one DVD. And they're very public domain. They're very cheap, no license. Put it there, send it. You know, the cartoon community knows what I'm talking about those like very cheap classic cartoons DVD. Not those like beautiful, restored, expensive ones. But those very cheap, like a million for $10 kind of thing. Also, I drew more hand gestures. So this ended up being a lot of fun and very well done, in my opinion. So I'm glad this came out well as it did. Honestly, really surprised. Yeah. Very fun, very well done, and a couple hours in production. You know, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. By this point, I was like, all right, we're down to the home stretch. Okay, we're on our way home. Yay. So I was really happy that the last, let's see, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes were quick. 6 out of the 10 were quick, while the other ones took a while, took their own month. But I was really happy. I was very happy and relieved that this thing, oh man, I hope I didn't finish it by the end of the year. And finishing it earlier than I expected, even though it was still late. I wanted it to be done by late September, but I ended up working on it until early October. But I'm just glad it was done, and I still have time to do, other special things in my life. This episode, again, originally the character was going to go to a Toon City pawn shop. He was going to pawn off some things for money, those kinds of places. Pawn, Pawn. But instead I was like, let me think of something else that'll be fun to do with gags. And then I was like, I like the vlog episode that I did, what was it, 2 seasons ago. Let me see if I can do one more. Was it 2 seasons ago? It was a couple seasons ago. And let me see if I can do more. Then I thought of these gags. I like that one. I try to draw the character in other angles, but let me do a gag where he is under the angle. And do other things that are only cartoony. Like, how do you vlog getting hit in the head in anvil? That classic cartoon thing of getting hit with, bricks or safe, or in this case, an anvil. I'm like, how do you do that in a vlog, in a video vlog? So I was like, let me do it. Let me think of funny things, and I kind of did. And this one took again a day to make. Thank gosh. A lot of things going on in this episode, but it was a lot of funny visuals, visuals and gags. And I did it all fairly quickly. I think I forgot to edit this to that angle, but I forgot to do it. So, but you still got the joke of those kind of vertical videos. All right, but yeah, no. So yeah, look at that dog. So thankfully, made a lot of great gags. I get to use some assets here and there to streamline the show and production. Oh, I like this one. I like this. This is a funny joke how people are like, shh, I'm going to sneak you into the production of something. Oh no, spoilers. Spoilers. But yeah, this was a complicated shot though, but it was still quick to make, thankfully. Oh, this whole creepy shot. Oh no, is he going to be okay? Oh no. But that was a fun gag. There's a lot of good jokes in this episode. A lot of good jokes. So I'm glad the vlog episode still worked. I'm really happy the vlog episode worked. Yeah, this was again a very fun, quick episode to make. At a time where I needed to make a quick episode, I was like, "Come on, let me work on this." So there we go. Vlog number 2. I'm glad this came out well, quick, well, funny. One of the better episodes of the season, honestly. And now we're down to the season finale. Now, originally this was going to be me trying a new animation software, but I ended up putting it in the middle of the season because I like the idea of me getting sick and trying to feel better because of what's going to happen in the next season. So I ended up just, scrapping, scrapping, but reorganizing it. So trying the new software became the middle of the season, 335. And for the season finale, episode 340, I got shingles. But I didn't want to say shingles. So I thought, let me do a parody of shingles. What is that? After experiencing shingles, it was painful. It was, everything you saw in the episode. If you know about shingles, it's insane. It's so weird and uncomfortable. Don't recommend. But, I made a parody of it. Okay, instead of shingles, what could it be? I thought of the planks. And I also want to bring back Dr. Sorley Chin, like that character, but even then he doesn't have much to do compared to other times he went to the doctor, Dr. Sorley Chin appeared. But it's nice to see him again. Fun to animate. His design is funny. Yeah, with the shingles, it was actually in a different other part of my body. But I was like, let me put the head so it can, because it is the planks, but it's also shingle. Shingles is like, shingles on a roof, top part, and what's top of the body, the head. So I decided to put on the head. It'll be easier because I don't want to. Putting on the head, it's better. The planks. And the colors are supposed to represent not. It's not supposed to be color of wood. It's supposed to be color of Yeah, I don't want to be gross. This is supposed to be a gross episode, but not being gross. But it is pretty gross. But if you know the shingles, you know what I'm trying to satirize. Shingles is like, things for the roof, top part of your head, and all that stuff. This one was. Let me see. Yeah, this was quick to make. This one took a day. Thankfully, this also took a day to make. I was really happy. The last, like 60% of the season was quick to make at a time where the first, like 4 episodes took forever. Not just forever. Well, not forever, but in between, it was just so tough, personally, to get through this season. A lot of times where I had to stop production multiple times for long periods of time. That was a struggle. Doing the show, getting into it quickly, but then stopping things that should have been quick, slow down. I don't want to say I was in a rough spot, but things were in the way. But that was just, the things that get in life in that time of the year of August to October. It is what it is. But I'm very happy that this season came together just in time, and it ended up being quickly done, most of it, at a time where I was just like, oh, let's do this. And hopefully it was still a fun season of the show, and I hope that you still enjoyed this season. I had a good time watching it and looking over it and being like, oh, these are still managed to be enjoyable episodes. So there you go, season 34 of The Sergio Show. So you know what, thank you very much for watching and listening to this audio commentary of season 34 of The Sergio Show. Let's see what happens next. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that wonderful stuff if you want to. So again, thank you very much. I am Sergio Dominguez saying, have an animated day. Thank you.